Do you know what hurts the most? That moment when you see a girl and your heart says, "This is the one." But the next moment, reality tells you that you're nothing to her. She smiles, talks to someone else, and you're left with a silent face. No one notices you. No one remembers you. You're lost in your own thoughts thinking, "I wish I were a little different." Maybe you even tried. You changed your clothes, your hairstyle, applied filters to your selfies, and acted confident. But deep inside, everything remained the same. That fear, that hesitation, that feeling that I'm not worthy of her. But what's the truth? You're not worthy right now, because you're not yet at the level that can instantly attract a girl. Impressing a girl doesn't mean looking perfect. It's about creating the energy that draws her to you without even trying. Today, I'm going to share 7 secrets that will transform you from a forgettable face to a powerful presence in front of any girl. But before we begin, remember one thing. This isn't just about impressing girls. It's about transforming yourself into someone whose mere presence commands respect and attraction. Let's get started. Secret 1. The silence that speaks. Have you ever noticed that some guys command attention without even saying a word? They walk into a room and everyone notices them. Why? Because they speak not with words but with their presence. Their body language, their walk, their gaze, everything shows that they're comfortable in their own skin. And that's the first rule. Girls instantly recognize who is truly confident and who is just pretending. If you're constantly trying to prove yourself, you won't attract but rather demand attention. So the next time you meet a girl, be a little quiet. Don't assume every silence is awkward. Sometimes silence is the strongest attraction. Secret 2. The eye lock game. When a girl talks to you, look into her eyes. But that look should reflect curiosity, not lust. Most guys look away because they're scared. But a guy who looks directly into her eyes sends a message, "I'm comfortable. I'm not fake." This comfort becomes the biggest attraction. Because she realizes you're not trying to impress her, you're simply confident in yourself. Once this energy is created, you don't need to say much. She'll start thinking about you on her own. Secret 3. The unpredictable vibe. Girls love mystery. They don't like guys who are predictable all the time. The same things, the same jokes, the same reactions every day. If you're always available, she'll see you as an option, not a priority. Give her some space sometimes. Be a little unpredictable. Sometimes make her laugh, sometimes just observe. Let her feel like she doesn't fully understand you, because when someone doesn't fully understand you, they think about you more, and that's where attraction begins. Secret 4. The way you move. Your walk, your gestures, your smallest reactions all reflect your confidence. Think about it. A guy who walks quickly, hunched over with shaking hands, and another who walks slowly with a straight back and controlled body language. Who will be more attractive? Confidence isn't seen, it's felt. So learn to control your body. Walk slowly, speak clearly, and bring calmness to every movement. This calmness makes her feel safe inside and subconsciously attracts her. Secret 5. The depth in your words. Girls quickly get bored with superficial conversations. From "Hi, what are you doing?" to "You look so cute," everyone says it. But if you become someone who has depth in their conversations, who observes, listens more, and talks less, you instantly stand out. Sometimes ask casually, "What do you think about most when you're alone?" Or, "Are you afraid of anything?" Such questions reach the heart, and when she feels that you want to understand her, not get her, that's where the connection is formed. Secret 6. The self-control aura. Today, everyone wants validation, likes, comments, attention. It's all become a kind of addiction. But if you're someone who isn't affected by all this, who doesn't get carried away by every compliment, who smiles at every rejection, then you develop a magnetic quality. Self-control is what sets you apart from the crowd. Girls are naturally drawn to men who are in control of their emotions, not reacting to everything. Sometimes the best way to impress is not to try at all. Just be yourself, but in your best version. Secret 7. The purpose energy. What is the most powerful attraction? Purpose. When a man has direction, he automatically becomes magnetic. He doesn't live to impress a girl, but focuses on his journey, working hard towards his goals, and therein is his charm. Girls are drawn to men who are pursuing something themselves, because a man with purpose has a different energy around him, one that says, I don't need validation. You have to understand, trying to impress doesn't bring attraction. Attraction comes when you are completely focused on your purpose. Now think, when you have all these 7 qualities, what will you become? A person who doesn't chase attention, but rather attention comes to them. But remember, this isn't magic, it's a process of transformation. Every time you feel nervous around a girl, understand it's a test. Every time you feel like you're not special, tell yourself, I'm transforming into a version of yourself that won't just attract, but inspire. Immediately impressing a girl doesn't mean cheap charm. It means being so real to her that she can't fake it. Too often, in trying to impress, we lose ourselves. But when you find yourself, every girl is attracted to you without you having to say a word. She feels your energy, your calmness, your control, your silence that speaks for itself. And that day, you won't need to impress anyone because you'll have already become the one to impress. This was part 1, the pain to realization phase. In part 2, we'll go deeper. How an instant impression is formed in 5 seconds, how the feminine mind reads subconscious signals, and how you can trigger her attraction patterns with subtle behavioral changes. And in part 3, we'll reach the transformation phase. If you want part 2, write part 2 in the comments of this video, or get 40 likes, I'll bring you the next video. There's a critical mistake, an almost imperceptible detail that most men make when hugging a woman without realizing it. And in that tiny instant, her subconscious makes an immediate decision. This man doesn't have real masculine energy. The most surprising thing is that very few men in the world truly know how to hug a woman properly. Most improvise, imitate what they've seen in movies, or copy their friends without realizing they're ruining the attraction before they even speak. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 types of lethal hugs that instantly destroy the chemistry. I'll explain exactly what each one sends to her subconscious, and then I'll reveal the 4th hug, the one almost no one talks about. That 4th type of hug is what separates the men who stay in her mind for weeks from those she forgets as soon as they leave. Stay until the end because this single detail can completely change how women react to you, not just in hugs, but in every interaction. Why women feel first and think later. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Rose, your go-to expert on women's psychology and social dynamics. For the past 8 years, I've been studying exactly what women feel in their bodies when they're around a man, those things they never say out loud. I've worked with thousands of women in private sessions, and today I'm bringing you the straight truth. No filters, no judgment, no filler. Before we begin, listen carefully. If you've ever messed up, if you've given one of those awkward hugs that made her pull away or cool off, it's not your fault. Nobody taught you this, not in school, and probably not even your father. Society gave you a million rules. Be nice, be respectful, don't be weird, but they completely forgot to teach you about powerful male physical contact. So take a deep breath because today that changes. Let me give you the key principle that explains it all. Women feel first and think later. While you're still figuring out if you should hug her or if it's the right time, her brain has already finished the process. Her limbic system, the primitive emotional center, activates in less than 4 seconds. That's biology. That's science. That's why logic doesn't carry as much weight as you think. And a hug? A hug is like direct fuel to that system. It jumps over any conversation, any witty remarks, or any game. In less than 4 seconds of contact, her body is already answering questions she didn't even know she had. Does this man make me feel safe? Does he have a real presence? Does he know who he is? You can be funny, successful, tall, or rich, but if the hug fails, her body discards everything else and categorizes you as safe but boring, or worse, forgettable. If this is already resonating with you, do me a quick favor, like the video right now. That tells the algorithm to show it to more men who need it, and helps me continue sharing these truths every week. Now let's get to the mistakes you're probably still making without realizing it. Mistake number 1. The weak hug, total insecurity. You've probably given or received it. Arms barely touching, body at a distance, a pressure so light it seems like you're afraid to break it. Sometimes it's that typical side hug with one hand, like you're greeting your grandma.
Psychologically, this hug conveys insecurity, doubt, and a total lack of masculine presence. Her subconscious instantly interprets it as he's not sure of himself, he doesn't trust his own power. Maybe she doesn't think it out loud, but she feels it, and that feeling lingers. She'll feel a little disappointed, somewhat bored, and that little doubt will grow with each interaction. Many women have told me after a date, he was nice, but something just wasn't right. 9 times out of 10, it all started with a weak hug.
Every woman tests a man, not through words, but through her behavior. And if you don't understand what she's actually doing, you'll fail without even noticing it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to observe when a woman wants to give you her time, her body, and her full feminine surrender. She won't announce it directly. She won't say, "I'm ready." Instead, her actions start speaking louder than her voice. And if you're truly paying attention, you'll begin to notice the signs, subtle, delicate signals, wrapped in emotion, instinct, and psychology. Most men miss them because they expect something obvious, but attraction is rarely obvious. It hides in silence, in eye contact, in the things she does when you're not even touching her. Welcome to Psychology of Desire. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because every video on this channel dives into the deeper truths of desire, attraction, and emotional behavior that women rarely say out loud. And if you're returning, you already know how real it gets here. Now listen carefully. Every woman has a different personality, a different past, and a different level of confidence. But when she wants to give herself to you, certain patterns start showing up in almost all of them. Not because she learned them, but because biologically, emotionally, and psychologically, her body begins reacting to you before her mind can control it. Why attraction is often unspoken. One of the first signs shows up in her presence. Pay attention to how she exists around you. A woman who isn't interested will keep her distance. She protects her energy. But a woman who wants you can't help but drift closer, almost like gravity pulling her in. It's subtle but clear. She sits closer than necessary. She finds reasons to stay near you. Even in a group setting, her body slowly turns towards yours. Attraction makes her restless. Her mind tries to stay composed, but her body gives her away. And it's not just about proximity, it's about comfort. She begins to relax around you. Her voice softens. She laughs more easily, smiles faster, and that defensive tension most women carry starts to fade. When a woman wants you, her armor naturally starts to drop. Then come her eyes. Sign number 1, emotional vulnerability around you. Most men think desire looks like a bold, seductive stare, but in reality, the strongest signal is when she looks at you and then quickly looks away. That small, shy break in eye contact is powerful. It means you triggered something she wasn't ready to show. Her nervous system reacts before her mind can hide it. That's why real attraction isn't loud. It's subtle, fragile, and involuntary. She might glance at your lips while you speak. She might bite her own lips, touch her neck, play with her hair, or trace her collarbone. These are subconscious signals her body sends when desire begins to wake up. And if she truly trusts you, you'll notice something deeper. She starts sharing personal things. Not random stories, but things she doesn't tell everyone. Her fears, her insecurities, her past pain. Because a woman will never give herself to a man she doesn't emotionally trust. For her, intimacy is not just physical, it's psychological. She needs to feel safe, seen, and protected. If she begins opening her heart, even slightly, she is preparing to open every part of herself. Understanding female psychology. But the strongest signal is this. She starts imagining you in her world. Sign number 2, strong emotional reactions. She asks questions like, "Would you ever?" or "What if we?" She's not confused. She's testing how you think, making sure that choosing you won't be a mistake. Women don't let just anyone into their lives. They choose carefully. And when she's close to choosing you, she starts mentally placing you in her future. These signs are quiet but powerful,
and most men ignore them, waiting for something obvious. But by the time it becomes obvious, she's already moved on. If you've seen these signs before, it wasn't coincidence. It was desire trying to communicate without words. When a woman wants you, she expresses it in ways she can deny verbally, but never through her actions. Another strong sign is how her mood changes around you. Not dramatically, but deeply. With others, she might be calm, polite, or reserved, but with you, there's a spark. Her tone changes, her energy changes. Sign number 3, subtle physical closeness. You affect her emotionally, even with something as simple as eye contact. She becomes playful, sarcastic, or unexpectedly soft. Sometimes she gets nervous without understanding why. Here's where it gets interesting. A woman only gets nervous around the man she matters to. If she's completely relaxed, unaffected, and emotionally flat, there's no real attraction. But if she's trying to stay composed while dealing with an internal storm, that's desire in disguise. Her breathing changes, her body tenses, her pupils expand. She feels something she can't fully control because your presence affects her. Another sign, she starts touching you more than necessary. Light, accidental contact that isn't really accidental. A brush of her hand, adjusting your watch, fixing your collar. Women don't touch men they don't feel something towards. This is her way of testing how you feel, how you respond, and how safe you are to get closer. Then comes a deeper emotional shift. Sign number 4, trust-based behaviors. When a woman is ready to give herself to you, she lowers her defenses. She forgives faster. She smiles even when she's slightly annoyed. She starts caring about your opinion more than she should. That means she's falling under your influence. Women don't surrender to men they don't respect. If she lets you guide moments, conversations, or decisions, she's telling you something without saying it. And here's a deeper truth. Her behavior may become inconsistent. She might pull away one day and return even closer the next. She may seem distant, then suddenly warm again. That's not confusion. It's her trying to protect her feelings while still being drawn to you. That push and pull is one of the clearest signs she's fighting her own desire. But there's another layer most men miss. When a woman wants you, she begins studying you deeply. Not just your appearance, but your mind. She watches what makes you strong, what makes you vulnerable, what makes you human. Because she can't surrender to a man she doesn't understand. Have you ever caught her looking at you when she thought you weren't watching? She wasn't just looking, she was memorizing you. Women observe the men they desire in a quiet, intense way. And when she sees that your depth matches her feelings, her walls slowly begin to fall. There's always a moment when her body starts telling the truth, even if her words don't. One of the strongest signs is anticipation. She doesn't just enjoy your presence, she waits for it. She checks her phone more often, replies quickly, even when she pretends to be busy, and remembers small details you mentioned. Your words don't just reach her ears, they stay in her mind. And when she's truly invested, she begins adjusting herself around you. Sign number 6, she treats you differently than others. Fixing her hair, reapplying lip gloss, straightening her posture. People say women dress for themselves. Psychology suggests something deeper. When a woman desires a man, her presentation becomes intentional. She wants to be attractive to the man she's attracted to. There's also a deeper sign, jealousy. Not loud, not dramatic, but subtle. A shift in tone, a brief silence when another woman is mentioned, a small change in her expression. A woman doesn't feel jealous over a man she sees as temporary. She feels it for a man she's already imagining as hers. And the more she tries to hide it, the more it's real. Another key sign is how she reacts to your touch. Not big gestures, small ones. Your hand brushing her back, your fingers touching hers. Women don't touch men they don't feel something towards. This is her way of testing how you feel, how you respond, and how safe you are to get closer. Then comes a deeper emotional shift. When a woman is ready to give herself to you, she lowers her defenses. She forgives faster. She smiles even when she's slightly annoyed. She starts caring about your opinion more than she should. That means she's falling under your influence. Women don't surrender to men they don't respect. If she lets you guide moments, conversations, or decisions, she's telling you something without saying it. And here's a deeper truth. Her behavior may become inconsistent. She might pull away one day and return even closer the next. She may seem distant, then suddenly warm again. That's not confusion. It's her trying to protect her feelings while still being drawn to you. That push and pull is one of the clearest signs she's fighting her own desire. But there's another layer most men miss. When a woman wants you, she begins studying you deeply. Not just your appearance, but your mind. She watches what makes you strong, what makes you vulnerable, what makes you human. Because